Good afternoon, everybody. You know, first I want to begin with, I want to thank everybody who is a member and joined my Gangster Circle. If you will see, the members have been getting posts that others do not get. So, I got a lot to talk about today, folks, all to do with immigration, who you are, who I am, where we came from. But first, I want to talk about law enforcement. You know, when somebody takes the job to go into law enforcement, they know they're putting their lives in danger. Their families don't know if they're going to come home at night. But yet, they do have a code to honor and protect. And that includes ICE agents, Border Patrol agents. It includes them all. Now, Trump is getting a little bit of different attitude because Alex Preddy and Pamela Good are no longer with us as a result of the confrontations that took place. Now, we have all seen the video. We've all made up our mind who's right, who's wrong, okay? But the real proof will come when there is an honest investigation. Will there be an honest investigation? Can we trust our Department of Justice? No, we can't. Look at what they did in the Epstein file. You can't trust them. They know the other people. They got the names. They could do an investigation on each name, find out who did what. A lot of these girls mentioned these names, a lot of the victims. But our Department of Justice does not care about the victim, okay? The people in charge and people in the Trump administration are just kiss-ass people. Agent Orange, take your button, thank you, good morning. Folks, I'm Ori Spado, known as the accidental gangster, from insurance salesman to Hollywood fixer. When I look at things that's happening, I look at them much differently than the average person. That's from living my life on the streets. Because when you live on your life on the streets, like I did, you gotta be careful what you say, what you do. Because just like the police officers, we might not make it home that night. I did, folks. And I did it because I live by doing the right thing because it's the right thing to do. I kept my mouth shut when I had to, and I listened intently. And I have an ability to figure things out. Now, I'm going to be doing a show tomorrow, and folks, I bet you don't know this, all right? But Donald Trump, President Donald Trump, has made more money since he took office in the past year than he's ever made in his lifetime. And I'm going to get into all that there. I've done my research, and you're going to want to hear that. So, folks, please subscribe, like, and share. Okay? 3 V8s. That's the dumbest question of all. Okay? Show me any idiot except for a rat that's going to tell you that answer. All right? Folks, are you Chinese, Polish, Irish? Doesn't make a difference what you are. What we see going on now, folks, in our country, has been going on for the inception of our company. The only difference, Trump, and I blame it because of Stephen Miller. Stephen Miller, his right-hand man. This is the guy that is closest to President Trump. He made a statement, and it's a public statement. You can find it out there somewhere on Google, okay? He wants no immigrants into this country. None. But his parents were immigrants. Yeah. They survived the Holocaust. They got through it. But he doesn't want anybody here. Folks, how was this country founded? Let's go back to the Pilgrims, okay? They came in over, they took a country, and they took it from the Indians. This country did not belong to Waller, it belonged to the Indians. And then, through time, immigrants from other countries where problems happened, they wanted a better life, and they wanted to come to what is the land of the free. And they came in droves, okay? Let's talk about Chinese immigrants first, all right? In the late 19th century, are widely considered to have faced the worst treatment among voluntary immigrants, experiencing extreme racial violence, legal discrimination, and intense systematic hostility. This was characterized by the robbery, assault, murder, and the restrictive 1882 Chinese exclusion. In the late 1800s, Chinese were targeted by severe racial violence, mob attacks, discriminatory laws. They were frequently assaulted, robbed, and killed with little government protection. Irish immigrants in the mid-1800s faced extreme prejudice, poverty, prejudice as Catholics in a Protestant-dominated society. Protestant-dominated society. Let me say that again. Protestant-dominant. So what's that? You're not reading anything new. If people want to come here, they need to come in legally and not. Yeah, okay? Most of them came in legally, all right? And a lot of these Mexicans and other nationalities that they are deporting have come in here illegally. They're waiting court dates, okay? And they got to go through a system, okay, that is so old and dilapidated that they can't keep up with it. All right, so wise ass, don't tell me about those. I know about legal, okay? My grandfather came here legally. He went through the process, became a citizen. So let's not get me off track over here, okay? Irish. Italian immigrants. Now let's talk about Italian immigrants. Okay, why is that? Did you know, I bet you didn't know, okay, after the Civil War, after they freed the blacks, you know who they hired to take over the jobs of picking the cotton fields? Us Italians. Primarily those from Sicily. We'll get into that, all right? Japanese immigrants, similar to Chinese immigrants. And if you remember, they were also deterred in prison camps, as a lot of us were, okay? Our country was built on taking this country from the Indians. Then we all started coming over. But before that, slave people, and actually a lot of them were black people, were capturing black people in Africa, chaining them, shackling them, putting them on a ship, bringing them here to the United States, and selling them. That was the beginning of slavery. Totally wrong, but it happened. Okay? Thank God they're coming out of it. I live in California, Arizona, New Mexico. Who owned all this? The Mexicans. We took this from the Mexicans. What are we doing now today? Today, 2026, January. Oh, it's February. Venezuela, Cuba. He's meeting with Colombia today. Iran. We're telling other countries that they got to live like our country. Okay? Truly, you really think we're a democratic country? I'm starting to think we're not. I might be wrong. Okay? Yes, I will say there's a right way and a wrong way to come into this country. Okay? We know for a fact that Joe Biden opened the floodgates and brought in over 15 million immigrants. They weren't all from Mexico. They were from all over the world. So we don't know how many from the cell terrorists we got around the world that want to destroy the country. We don't know how many of them got in. So what we're doing now, and what the intention of ICE was supposed to be, was to get the criminals out, which included pedophiles, rapists, murderers, okay, and that sort of thing. Folks, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, like, share. And if you want first-hand information and get information before anybody else, join my membership. It's a couple bucks a month. It's not a lot of money, okay? Please sign up, become a member so you get information from me before others, because you never know when I'm going to come out with something for my members only, and I do, okay? So folks, look, no matter where we come from, okay, there is a process that you gotta go through. You gotta study, you gotta know everything, okay? And you gotta take a test. That's a lengthy process. It doesn't happen overnight, all right? Your grandparents had sponsored. Yeah, you gotta get sponsored. Folks, it's a big ordeal. But you know, before all this took place, you know, we had a lot of Mexicans. I know, I'm gonna speak for California. We had a lot of them come in, all right, once or twice a year to pick our crops. Now they're not coming over, okay? So our prices of fruits and vegetables have skyrocketed. I'm sure you find that in your grocery stores when you go there, because we don't have the people to pick them. Look, our country's in serious trouble. And I'm deathly afraid of what's happening. I want to tell you a story. I'm Italian. 1971, I had offices on Sunset Boulevard in Hollywood. No, after I got through with my appointments in the evening, I would go back to the office, I'd do my paperwork, get done, and I had grown a little mustache. I'm talking 1971, not 2026. I said, let me take a stroll down Hollywood Boulevard, see what's happening. And boom, the cops stopped me for no reason. And boy, I cut my arm this morning. I don't know, and on my car, when I went up to do a show for my members only, okay, I got out of the car and I was parked on a hill. Something happened, and I had to wipe the blood off of my shirt and everything, okay? You want to see how many died in a month? Leon Jensen. I'm a nurse. You want to see how many? Can you tell me how many died? Are you talking how many have died because of the ice agents? Is that what we're talking about? All right? I'd like to know. Because don't think that Alex Preddy and Pamela Good are the only ones, okay? See what's happening in New Jersey, what's happening here in Los Angeles, what's happening in other places. And why? Why? Why do they have 3,000 ICE agents in Minnesota? Don't you think that's a little overkill? I do. All right? It's sad. I want all these young people to stop dying from drugs. Our country is out of control. You're actually right again, okay? I'm happy, Liana, am I saying your name correctly? Okay. Let me know, please. Folks, leave a comment, leave a like. I want to know what you folks think. Am I just totally wrong? Okay? Is everything calm in this country? It's not. Talking about drugs. Donald Trump pardoned that drug dealer from Honduras who brought in 500 metric tons. Folks, you have any idea? I can't even comprehend. 500 metric tons has got to fill this entire block, all right, with cocaine. He pardoned him. After the guy was found guilty and given 45 years in prison, Trump pardoned him. I wonder how many millions of dollars he got for that pardon, okay? Because what Trump gets from pardoning people, he gets $1 million here, $2 million there. That's chump change to him. It's chump change. Because he's making billions on other things, and he's doing it right in front of our eyes. But most of you don't see it, okay? Because you're like Pam Bondi, Pete Hegseth, and the rest of his cabinet, you got your nose up his ass. Simple. I don't put my nose up anybody's ass. Until there's something, and it's not going to happen, until the demand for the drugs goes down, there will always be a supply. I don't care how many he takes out of the way. I don't care how many ships he blows out of the water with drugs. They're just going to keep bringing it in somehow, some way. Don't think they're not. Because the the demand is bigger than what the supply is. And that's the problem. That's where the problem is, folks. Okay? When a lot of people are addicted, you see it every day on the streets. Okay? It's ruining lives, ruining families, drugs. And here he is, he's meeting the president of Colombia, where most of the cocaine comes from. What kind of deal you think he's going to make with that guy? There'll be some deal. You won't know about it, I won't know about it. Trump will make a deal out of anything. Legal or illegal, he don't care. If the money's there, he's going to make the grab. Now, all presidents make money and take advantage of the office, okay? None have done it on the scale that Donald J. Trump has. And folks, I don't care how much he steals, how much he takes, if he was doing something for the people. But he's not doing anything that he promised for his people. Okay? Not a thing. I mean, I go grocery shopping just like you do. I know what the damn prices are in the store. Okay? You go spend $50, $100, you don't even need a bag. You can carry it home in your arms. But folks, no matter what nationality we are, we've all been robbed, screwed, and whatever you want to call it when we came over. Okay? Some of us have advanced more than others. The Italians, I'll use the Italians for example. All right? What they learned from picking cotton, that was not their specialty, picking cotton. So they moved to other places and started growing grapes, tomatoes, other fruits and vegetables. And they built their communities up around that there, okay? And other nationalities have done similar. But this is the United States of America. Or is it the divided states of America? Because I don't see any way how that both sides are ever going to come together, okay? Folks are not leaving any comments here. So either you like what I'm saying or you're not interested. I'd like to know what you're thinking about, folks. Because you're all thinking about, what is this old man saying? Okay? Michael Bass, huh? Yeah, Juicy, you know, the Indians were here before the Italians, okay? I already said that, all right? Joker, the drugs are not going to stop coming in, folks. It's an enormous business. The profits are so unreal. They have no idea. And you know, folks, let's talk about his Department of Justice and Pam Bondi, okay? I can't understand how she was ever a prosecutor in Florida, but she built herself up a name, all right? And I don't know if Trump likes her just because has a tendency to like women, okay? And she's not doing the job. She's not protecting the people. She went after Don Lemon. Let's talk about Don Lemon here for a moment. Don Lemon, whether you like him or not, he's a journalist. Now, I watched the video of him in that church. I don't know if all of you have. Have you? Leave me a comment. Let me know if you have watched the video of Don Lemon. I heard him say many times, speaking in the mic in that church, that he was covering the protest, covering what was going on in the church. He was doing the job that a journalist does. When he was asking the preacher questions, those are questions any journalist would ask the preacher. He wasn't a protester. He didn't go there to protest and hold up a sign and walk the streets. He went there as a journalist, of which he is. This is going to be another case that's going to crumble, all right, in the courts. I'm surprised. No, they had a tough time finding a judge not to throw it out of court. No judge would take that case. They had to get their own judge somehow, some way, okay? You see how they fix things up? But the first Constitution, First Amendment. See this, folks? This is the U.S. Constitution. First Amendment. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof or abridging the freedom of speech or the press or the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for redress of grievances. That's the First Amendment. Very first one. That's where his right is. He has the right. Let's see. There's something else. Okay. Following the abolition of slavery, Southern plantation owners faced a labor shortage. In the 1890 initiatives like the Sunnyside Plantation in Arkansas brought hundreds of Italian families, largely Sicilians, to work as sharecroppers. Under harsh conditions, they were promised land and prosperity, but they found the cotton field to be a place of hot, backbreaking, unhealthy work. Many suffered from malaria and some died due to poor sanitation in the Mississippi River Delta. So they transitioned to other crops because they were familiar with other crops. And they moved to areas like Tonytown, Arkansas, to cultivate grapes and fruit crops they were more familiar with, or moved to cities like New Orleans to work in the food industry. And in New Orleans, you know what happened in there? Okay? The people broke into jail and hung 11 Italian innocent guys. 11 of them. Okay? I wanted to throw that in. During World War II, Italian prisoners of war, all right, were also used to pick cotton in the U.S. South. See how they used everything they could? They didn't cry. You're right there, Jeffrey. All right? Jeffrey's right, folks. Read what Jeffrey said. We didn't cry. We got up and we figured ways out to get out of it and make money. All right? Hey, Joe Schmo. I love it when disrespect. Well, folks, you know, I want you folks to know there's a lot of disrespectful, like that guy over there, Joe Schmo. Okay? You know, Joe Schmo. I bet his name's not Joe Schmo either. Okay? I bet it's a fake name. Okay? So here's what we're going to do. Okay? All right? Joe Schmo? No, not you. Lena. Where's Joe Schmo? I must have left, huh? There's Joe Schmo. Goodbye, Joe Schmo. Man, yeah, some good things here. I learned some things, folks. Hey, we got any young guys that live in my area here that could help me with social media? I'd like to make a deal with you, okay? Any you young guy, I met a couple the other day from Beverly Hills High. I gotta go try to find them again, folks. I need help here, okay? Oh, by the way, all right, somebody asked me the other day about doing Cary Grant's home. If you go to my video, it'll be posted. So folks, I do a lot of video. I'm going to be doing a lot more. Make sure you go there, watch the video, and you'll see where Tony Curtis, Cher, Michael Jackson, Walt Disney, all these people, where they live, and the better part of Homely Hills than where did he live. If you could imagine there's a better part and higher rent, there is. And I did a video there this morning. I know it's hard to believe, okay? But, folks, their hedges are as high as this building. You can't see the houses. But when you're paying $100 million for a house, what's going to happen? Huh? No. I was talking about the Constitution, so I'm saving this for another time. We are living under the Constitution, all right, of what year was that? 1876. Before I was born, I'll tell you that much. But let's talk about the laws of our country. Michelle, you're right. We should not have to give them money. Nobody gave my grandparents money, okay? Nobody. We had to work. And you know, I remember my father telling me that during the Depression, he and his grandfather, they went from city to city to try to get, you know, we were like day workers then, try to get a job. And you were Italian, you didn't get hired. They would have to change their name, okay, in order to get hired. The things that our forefathers had to go through to get a job. was not good, folks. We all had it bad coming here, but we worked our way out of it by working. Nothing was given to us, okay? Now, it was Joe Biden, and Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, if she was voted in, she would have done the same thing Joe Biden was doing, okay? She would not have been doing anything different. And look at that hotel they were staying at in New York. That was a gorgeous freaking hotel, folks. All right? $500-600 a night rooms. And immigrants were living there for nothing. And they're giving credit cards, they're giving cell phones. What the hell? No, they should be going out working. Get a job. No, people don't want to work. Folks, have you subscribed to my channel yet? Please help me out any way you could. Okay? Do I have to beg you? I don't beg for anything. Okay? But if I could take the time I make about $1.20 a day when I do these shows. Yeah, $1.20. So don't think I'm getting rich here on YouTube. I'm not. Okay? And what can you do with $1.20? All right? I come here to give you information, content. I do my research. All right? Agent Orange. There are some of us Mexicans that didn't cross over. Okay, where to go? One, Agent Orange. If you see my videos on these exclusive areas that I drive through here in Beverly Hills and so forth, okay, you will see as I drive down the street where there used to be 3 or 4 workers, there'll be 1, okay? Up near the Playboy Mansion, they're doing a lot of construction there, okay? I had to stop because there was a truck, okay? One Mexican driving the truck, another Mexican had a big cart of planks, okay? They were, all right? And they had the lift that they had to put it on. Every worker there was a Mexican. If not for the Mexicans, they'd never get that job done, okay? I told you before, I'll tell you again. I live in an apartment building. Every Monday and Thursday, a cleaning crew of 3 to 4 guys would come to clean the hallways, the pool, the trees in front, the grass, clean everything, twice a week. 3 or 4 guys. Now only 1 comes. Only 1. Because the others are afraid to leave the house. Folks, if I was a Spanish descent, I'd be afraid to leave the house, okay? Because of Stephen Miller and Donald Trump listening to Stephen Miller, okay? They're getting everybody out. As long as you're an immigrant, they don't care what your status is. All right, some of these people are citizens. They're picking up American citizens sometimes. All right? He implemented the program wrong. That's his problem. Trump had good ideas to help our country, but he doesn't know how to implement them. And that's the problem that we are facing, and we are the ones that have to suffer from it. Okay? Mr. Gukuna, whatever their name is, sorry if I say it wrong, okay? As a gangster on the streets, we always respected law enforcement. Ask the FBI, ask local law enforcement. We respected them because we know that they have a job to do, and we know we have a job to do. And we, as real gangsters, I'm not talking about all those rats that you probably follow, okay, which primarily, okay, you got a lot, most of the gangsters on YouTube are rats, okay? Living their whole life over and over and over, talking about how many people they killed, how they killed them, okay, and all that bullshit. Because they put people in prison and now they got a free pass. Is that right? Oh, it's probably right to you, Mr. Magoon, okay? No, we respected law enforcement. So don't say I just did, okay? And I told her, you got a job to do, I got a job. You catch me, you arrest me, okay? That's their job. We know it because we're men. We're real men. I bet that guy, where'd he go? I don't see him no more. Magoon, all right? Boy, he shut up quickly, all right? More of a queen, allegedly. Agent Orange, I wanted to read more into what you said about the I hope I helped you there, buddy. And okay. Yes, there were other members of the mafia with me, okay? Many. The bosses, everybody. We were all together, just like you see in the movie, okay? Gambinos, Bananos, Columbos, all of them. We were all there. In MDC, Brooklyn. Except there were no rats, because they don't put rats in general population. And for those of you who listen to those rats, okay? And they talk about how when they're put in special housing, they give you another reason why they're there. No, they're there because they can't be put in special housing because they're going to get hurt really bad. All right? You notice I don't like to talk about the gangster stuff all the time, but folks, I'm going to tell you a story. I'll do it this week, I promise you, because I know a lot of you like to hear my gangster story. Where's the bad stuff happening? I know he is deporting innocent people. You got that right, my friend from Sweden, okay? That's what the problem is, okay? That's what the problem is. And now, because of 2 killings in Minnesota, they're going to wear body cameras. What they got to do is show their faces. Why is every other law enforcement show their faces, show their badges, and these guys can't? God damn it, they took the job. If they didn't want, they'd look at it. They should not have taken the job. Any job you take, there's a good and a bad that goes along with it. All right? Thank you, Anthony Henderson. Has a personal vendetta against Mexican. Steve Miller does. Steve Miller's got a personal vendetta. It goes back to when he was in school here in Santa Monica. Yeah, he went down. Does this administration, yes, they qualify for RICO in the first degree, Agent Orange. All right? President Trump, he did a lot, 40 people. James, I don't know what 40 people did he do a lot for. Okay, his friends, his billionaire friends, he's done a lot for them, that's for sure. Okay, look at that deal with TikTok. Okay, I'll guarantee you Trump got a minimum of $500 million as his end on that deal by giving it to Larry Ellison. Just what I think, folks. Because Trump does think like a gangster. And no money's gonna go by him without him getting a piece. Don't think that, oh, he's doing it out of the goodness of the heart. No way, okay? Neither would you, neither would I. It's magical smallness in you, greed. Ah, he'd been lying before you were born there. Yeah. Folks, I voted for him. Okay? Imagine if Kamala Harris was here, was the president. You and I would be housing these people in first-class hotels, giving them cell phones, paying for their food, and everything. You know why they did it? Because they know that these people, all right, will register to vote and vote for them. Okay? No matter what we do, folks, everything is about elections with these politicians. Everything. Okay? What's Trump doing now? He knows he has a chance of being demolished in midterms and losing both the Senate and the Congress. So he's out campaigning. Because this November is going to tell a lot. And if the Democrats take over the Congress and the Senate, Donald Trump is a lame duck president. All right? Be blessed. Thank you. Just came in. You missed them. You're going to have to catch a replay because I've been spilling a lot of anger here today, folks. I hope. All right, Arizona lady, how are you? Thank you. Thank you for all you people. Arnold. Okay, thank you, buddy. Okay. What DOJ? Yeah. No. Pam Bondi, Christine Gnomes, Tulsi Gabbard. They're all doing terrible jobs, folks. All doing. Thank you, my friend. All right? Folks, you know, every day I ask you, and I'm going to tell you again. Look at Don Relevant. Don Lemon became more relevant now than he ever was. This was the best thing for Don Lemon. Although he has to go through the system, okay? He's gotten well known now. All right? Thanks to the Department of Justice and another shitty indictment, just like the indictment they did on Comey and Letitia James. They messed that up. They're going to mess this one up worse. Watch and see. All right? Folks, remember, do something kind for others. It'll come back to you tenfold. I got to say this every single day to you. And some of you are doing it. Hi, Mandy. All right? I went through the First Amendment, Mandy. I read it out loud. All right? Yes, Mandy, it makes a question. A big difference. All right? He was not protesting. Listen to the video of him. He was there several times. I'm covering the what's going on here, Minneapolis I'm covering it, all right? I'm looking at trying to read all the messages, folks. You know, I apologize. Thank you, Garnier, my guardian angel. Thank you for throwing out the disrespectful people that come here. All right? Oh, fun. Yeah, as far as somebody calling me bro, I gotta be honest with you, I don't mind that at all. I call other people brother too. No, service master, none of the Sicilians received anything that was promised. Okay, not one. But we strapped our boots out and we got up and we worked and we made businesses, okay, and we emerged. Just like the Irish, the Japanese, the China, the Polish, all right, and every other nationality that has been able to get up, work, do their job, provide for their families, not rely on the government. Okay? But Biden administration wanted everybody, he didn't care, he wanted the whole nation to have to rely on the government. So that way they can control you. It's all about control, control, control. Somebody asked me, all right, Vanilla, how old I am? I'm 111 years old, Vanilla. I say that every day. And if you believe that, I got some swampland down in Florida I'd like to sell you, okay? Hey, folks. I hope everybody's having a blessed day, all right? Ken Rex, what? I don't even know who he is. Huh? Hey, but look, folks, we're all going to make up our own opinion, all right? All right, Johnny's going to buy this painting. Johnny, you like art. You know what I'm going to do this week? I'm going to go to the Wallace Annenberg Museum over here in Santa Monica and bring you guys through a tour through there, okay? Because a lot of you like a lot of you like artwork and I respect that, folks. Folks, all my love and respect to all of you. Have a blessed day. You're going to see a lot more of me, okay? Because I can't give up this $1.20 a day that I made here, all right? All my love and respect, folks. Take care.